Alright, so I'm going to do a quick review here on the Valken Proton just because it's a newer marker. There's not really a whole lot of information out about them, and for the people that are getting into the sport or already in the sport and looking for a marker, it's kind of nice to have some information, especially from someone that's been using one to just, see what the marker is all about, especially if you can't get your hands on one at the field. Excuse me, I got a cold, so I'm going to bear with me and try to do the best I can here. So this is the gun. First impression, I was really impressed. It's very lightweight, compact, milling wise and all that. I think they did a pretty good job. It's pretty clean marker. I've been out of the game now for about a year. I was shooting an Ego 11, and I have to say that I honestly think that the Proton is more comfortable in the hands. It's just, with its profile, it's so small and so lightweight. And don't get me wrong, I mean, Planet Eclipse makes great stuff, and that's, a whole different level of marker. But for calling this an entry-level, mid-range marker, it's just, you get a whole lot of gun for, what you're paying for it. I think they're retailing about $325 here and there on eBay or Paintball Nation. You could probably get one for around $300, $280, maybe a little bit less. So that's the marker. The packaging is kind of basic. I know some people get all into the packaging, and with Planet Eclipse and that, you get a nice case. But one thing I found about the packaging is, it's very compact, fits in your gear bag, and the gun is so light. I didn't even know if the gun was in the box. I had to check the other day when we went out to go play, because it's really that light. So I don't care about the packaging. I'm buying the marker to go play with it, not, to put in a shiny case on the wall. The back has some of the features. It has a couple different fire modes for those that are interested in that kind of thing. If you want like full auto or 3-shot burst, it has that. 4 different tournament modes. There are tourney switches on the board to get your tournament locks. There's ramping. Pretty basic features. It has a clamping feed neck, integrated on-off for your air. The regulator is actually built in here to the grip with the velocity adjustment right up here in the front, which is kind of different, but it makes it easy to chrono. Very easy maintenance. It's toolless maintenance. Just unscrew and the whole bolt assembly just slides out the back. Very basic. Great shooting gun. I've got to play with it a couple times. Just played with it in the big game. Shot great. No chops, no breaks. Performed awesome. Got a lot of attention. I was the only one out of the 2,000 people that were probably playing that had one of these, and a lot of people didn't even know what it was. It's very attractive looking gun in my opinion. I know some people weren't impressed with the milling, but I think it looks pretty good. I know a lot of the people also weren't impressed with the way that the on-off switch is. It's up here in the front. You just kind of pull it out. I don't know if you can see that. It just pulls out, and that's how you turn the marker on and off. There was a gentleman on the internet that did a nice review about the issue regarding accidentally shutting off the gun if you're walking the trigger and hitting this button. I'll kind of try to demonstrate again what he was doing. If you hit this, you could hit it pretty hard, and you could see that it's still flashing. The gun is still powered on. I haven't ran into that problem with accidentally turning the gun off when I'm playing. So, I don't know, to me it's more myth than fact. Another nice thing about this marker is I've never had a marker that didn't have a bottom line. I know some people with the G6Rs and that don't have the bottom line, they always said it was such a big difference. I thought it was just, whatever. I guess it's personal preference, but I have to say after shooting this, you could just get really tight up in there and not have to worry about, the bottom line when you're switching hands and stuff, and it is very, like I said, comfortable in the hands. It's just very tight and light, and I don't know, overall just a great gun with some good features. Here is a mini just to compare size-wise. You can see that it is very compact. And one thing I do like over the mini that I think the Proton comes out ahead in is I never really liked on the Mini the front grip that holds the battery and the circuit board housing. I have small hands, and it feels weird because it's so wide. You can't really get like a good good grip on the gun. It's just awkward to me. But with the Proton, it's just, it just feels right. But like I said, that's all, personal preference. I would suggest anyone that, isn't sure, or even someone that's skeptical about it, go out and shoot one, because it shoots great. Only complaint shooting wise is it is kind of tingy. It has a very metallic sound that you kind of have to get used to. It's loud. But after shooting it for a couple games, it really didn't bother me at all. I didn't even notice it by the end of the first day. And it's not super gas efficient. It is somewhat of a gas hog, not as bad as like a Shocker SFT or something like that. But it doesn't compare to the efficiency you're gonna get in like an Ego 11 or even the E-Tech. So coming up here on the second portion, I'll try to get some video of the shooting. We'll maybe go through some of the different fire modes, just so you guys can have an idea of how everything works. And for those that are interested in the marker, hopefully this will help out a little bit in making your decision.